Hey, Dan Passarelli here. Well, the S&P 500 closed down 0.4% today. Not a big move. In fact, we just have a little teeny tiny doji here. But we did close below the 21-day moving average, which often enough gets a little bit of follow through. Not always. And when it does, it is often just a little bit of follow through. So we'll see on that front. Still no big shakes. The only thing that I'm looking at here is we did it on very, very low volume, and the on-balance volume is continuing to fall. So from a technical standpoint, that does show a little bit of weakness. From a fundamental standpoint, of course, we had Walmart earnings, which just didn't go well at all. I mean, geez Louise, they actually underperformed, which is pretty shocking. And the market punished them for that. They were below the 50-day moving average at one point today, but decided to close above it, which is a good sign. Maybe we'll be able to fill this gap right here. Also, the market had some sell-off towards the end of the day ahead of Powell's speech tomorrow at the Jackson Hole Symposium. And also ahead of that, in the bond market, bonds sold off a little bit, meaning interest rates rose ahead of that meeting. So if anyone was thinking that he was going to say something leading to an interest rate expectations for an interest rate cut, well, we'll have to see exactly what he says. Now, another thing I was looking at is Palantir, symbol PLTR, of course. So this is, this is a stock that has just been a darling, been on fire, up in the last 4 months, well over 100% at one point, now just about 100%, and tickling that 50-day moving average, still deciding to close above it for the second day in a row. But one of the big short sellers out there has been stating, and who knows, could be rightly so, that it's one of the most overpriced stocks he's ever seen. It's got a massively high price to earnings ratio. They would have to grow their earnings massively in perpetuity for this pricing to even make any sense at all. Nonetheless, we did see at least one trader making a bet that it's probably not going to fall too much over the next week or so. On our Wing Spread Genius trade finder here, we see that somebody sold about 4,000, well, no, actually somebody bought about 4,000 of the Palantir August 29th, 152.5, 160, 165.5, 172.5 call condors. Now that means that between now and next Friday, this trader believes that Palantir will stay between 160 and 165. Now, we're just a little shy of that now. Palantir closed at 156.18 today. So it's sort of a slightly bullish positioning on it and decidedly not a bearish positioning. So maybe that could just be, who knows, maybe it could be the short seller hedging. Or it could be someone unrelated altogether who just loves this massively high PE ratio. Nonetheless, it gives us a really good insight into what's going on in Palantir options. And that is extremely valuable. Now, I'll be talking about this very topic in a complimentary online training tonight. And so make sure that you are registered for that. That's markettaker.com/REG, REG as in register, and get yourself registered for tonight's online training where I talk about wing spreads and how something like Wing Spread Genius can add extreme power to your trading. Hope that helps. This is Dan Passarelli, Trade Smart.